Hello you beautiful people and welcome back to another Hiker Plays video. Today we're going to be talking tanks. Now, a lot of you have been asking me to make tier lists that are specific to specific classes. So, in the case of tanks, what tanks are best used? As you can see, my favourite tank right now in the game is Big Mum. But I have gone through and made a tier list for you guys. So, on your screen, you should be able to now see some tanks. You will see Kaido, Big Mum, and Sengoku sitting at the top, with Kuma, Crocodile sitting in A tier. B tier, you've got some Frankie and Buggy, and then you've got Akainu and some other fodder at the end. And I am going to call them fodder because they are really not usable. But that's okay. So, let me explain my thought process into why these guys are at these tiers. So, with Kaido, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. He's got an amazing traction ability, he's got crazy amount of damage reduction. In terms of just tanking, you don't get better than just physical tank Kaido. Doesn't take any damage, absolutely solid unit. Big Mum, again, with the revive and a few other bits, she is just a really, really solid tank. And Sengoku is actually one of those damage dealer tanks. He actually deals a lot of damage compared to other tanks, but is also very, very tanky and is pretty pivotal in that marine-only team. You've got Kuma, who, again, really nice kit. I wouldn't be upset if I know a lot of you are going to look at these sort of tier lists and go, right, we need the S tier tanks. You don't. You can get away with the A tier tanks. I know a bunch of people who have played 6 months on these A tier tanks. A lot of people that have been competing with me have been using Kuma or have been using things like Crocodile, and it works just as well as those S tier tanks. They just fall a little shorter. For example, Kaido is a bit of an upgrade to Crocodile. Even though they have very similar kits, Kaido then provides a lot of what's the word? Like extra defense and mitigation. And Kuma, and I would say probably with the way Kuma works, Big Mum is a bit of an upgrade to him. Although their kits are slightly more different. As you come down into B is sort of where you want to be as a free-to-play, as a new player. First week in the game, Frankie's a fantastic tank. Look, first couple of weeks of the game, Frankie's going to carry you places. Buggy, same. Absolutely awesome. We did a whole account dedicated to Buggy, and we cleared most of the game using Buggy. Buggy is amazing, and we love him, but he only sits at a B tier. Akainu is actually probably should be in the B tier, but we've thrown him in C, and because I don't want anyone working on him, effectively, if you have marine fodder, it shouldn't be going on Akainu. It should be going on Kuzan, it should be going on Garp, it should be going on Gion, it should be going on Sengoku. There's so many marines that are way too strong in this game. You shouldn't be wasting it on Akainu, which is why he sits really low down on the tier list, because, guys, it's just a waste of fodder. He is at best a B tier tank. And then right at the end, you do have the D tier tanks. These guys exist. They technically are tanks by tag, but in reality, they're not really the guys you're going to be going for, especially when Frankie is free and Buggy is really easy to pull. I mean, Crocodile's effectively given away for free. If you do a first top-up, for example, you get Crocodile day 1, and Kuma you get on day 5, so there's no excuse to not have some of those really top-tier tanks anyway. I mean, going back into the game, I'll be able to showcase some of their skills. So if we come in and look at, say, I don't know, let's start with Kaido. By the way, with King coming out, Kaido becomes so much stronger. So, pulls enemies towards himself, deals a ton of damage. 450 physical damage is a lot of damage. And then on top of that, has immunity damage, control, and so after casting, and increases his own defense by 50%. That is such a huge defense increase. Like, he really does take very little damage. If we look at his passive, damage reduction 25%, crit resistance 20%, and then again, all of that goes up. And if you awaken him, you even get block chance. He is just beefy. He is so hard to get through. If you actually partner him up with King, you get a really interesting ability, and this is something that sort of King has on his ability powers, but effectively, every time King casts, Kaido will then additionally gain immunity control for 5 seconds, which I think is pretty OP. I mean, it is only once per battle, so it is only a one-off buff, but that's, I mean, if it was repeatable, that would make them just too OP together anyway. So Kaido, absolutely brilliant. I mean, you guys have heard me rant about how good Big Mum is anyway. I mean, I love her revive on Death Trigger. Just absolutely, she's just so sticky. She just stays there. And then, I mean, just have a look at some of Sengoku's numbers. I'll find Sengoku quickly. I don't actually own him on this account, but, you know, transforms into a Golden Buddha, which in that state, he does so much damage, which is great because he's got lifesteal. So it just keeps him on the board for a long time. On top of that, he is a tank, so he has already got very high defensive stats. and it's just very, very strong. In terms of like the lower tier tanks, guys, there is no bad choice in reality, from Frankie and all the way up. So B's, A's, and S's, they're all very, very good. I will highlight that Buggy does do a ton of damage. Buggy actually does a ton of damage with when he summons those 2 claws. It really helped me clear the Mihawk fight early on. The number of, because you can have up to 4, I think it is, and those claws come in so clutch. So guys, don't underestimate the tanks. They are all very, very good. But if you want sort of endgame tanks, if you're going for King, go get Kaido. If you're not going for King, Big Mom is probably fantastic. And if you're going for that Marine team, Sengoku is sort of the pinnacle of tanks for you there. Guys, I hope you enjoyed these series. I'm going to try and do a whole series around all the other types as well, so supports and DPS as well. It will probably be a 5-minute quick snapshot like this one is. And then, you know, we'll see what happens. But we do also have a build section, so if you go and search up the build video where I talk about how you build these tanks, that, I guess, is like the connection to this one, and I'll try and link it somewhere here, there, somewhere on this video, where it will link to that video, and you can then learn more about tanks. But boys, thank you all, and have a lovely day. Peace.